Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Coverage. Walsh along with Chris Mueller for tonight's show. And Chris, I just got a good tweet here from Jason Campbell. Tweeted us. If the Pirates use their #1 overall pick on a high school player, that should tell you this rebuild is going to take a very long time.
I think that's a decent hypothesis or a decent thesis statement, whatever you want to call it, from Jason. Is that the former Auburn quarterback, Jason Campbell?
Maybe.
One of the most mediocre
the
NFL
Heisman Trophy
quarterbacks
winner?
in recent memory?
Beat out
Jason Campbell?
Oh, no. I'm thinking. Who am I
You're thinking of Cam Newton.
I'm thinking of the guy that beat out Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know what in my mind. Jason
White. Jason White. He had like 18 knee braces. When he tried to run, it was like Forrest Gump, except really slow. But things were metal was falling off of him all over the place. Yeah. I'm not going to make the cheap joke that I could about which local columnists voted for Jason White, by the way, in that Heisman Trophy discussion, because that would just make me really low rent, and I am not that kind of guy.
Yeah,
anyway. I do think, man, it was tempting to make the joke anyway.
Well, you can make the joke.
I do think that, no, come on. I've made that joke a million times, or I've called those guys out. It's no fun anymore. If they take a Jordan Lawler or Marcelo Mayer, somebody like that, somebody that is, you would think, even if they're precocious, still probably 2 to 3 years away from being like a seasoned, ready-to-go major leaguer, then I think you can make the assumption that they feel they're a little bit further off. If they take a Jack Leiter, maybe there's this organizational mindset that we're going to be able to contend a little bit sooner rather than later, and we want somebody that's going to slot in kind of within that timeline. That having all been said and having laid that all out there, Richie, I do think Ben Cherington's mandate is to make sure that he and his scouts collaborate and draft the most talented guy. I know you talked about wanting Jack Leiter, and a lot of people are still on the Leiter or even the Kumar Rocker train. The thing I would caution you about is this. It's a complete crapshoot when it comes to most of these guys. Granted, we can watch the Vandy pitchers because the College World Series is on TV. Me or you or anybody else isn't watching tape on high school shortstops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because I think we all got kind of seduced by the idea of one of these two Vandy pitchers so long ago, I think that's stuck with people, and they can't move off the idea that maybe these guys really aren't, despite the fact that, again, we get to see them, maybe they really aren't the best choice at 1 overall.
You know, that's a great point, that how we get to see them, and we're infatuated with them because we've been looking at this pick for an entire year. And Bobby, I want to read Bobby's tweet here. He said, how could the Pirates possibly pass on Jack Leiter? He's lights out. I mean, I think he's the best pitcher available. Chris. And
is he the best player, though?
I don't know, but I want them to go pitcher because I think that's their biggest need right now. Don't you? I mean, I guess it's like, do you pick? What if Jared Lawler is like a Manny Machado? What if Jack Leiter is I don't know, Garrett Cole?
I mean, I think you have to take the best.
Garrett Cole, but
you have to take the best player. You have to take the guy you think is going to become the best major leaguer. And I understand that they have needs all over the map, and I think it's obvious that they have major needs at starting pitcher. Everyone tells me about how great the rotation is in Greensboro right now. That's wonderful. They're still probably 2 to 3 years away, most of those guys, unless they're really leaping through the minor leagues. I guess I've come off the position that it's got to be one of these Vandy pitchers, specifically Leiter, just because the people who actually study this stuff for a living, who get paid because they follow these prospects and they're up to date on them, have generally cooled off a lot on Jack Leiter. Kumar Rocker is almost yesterday's news by this standard, but Jack Leiter was the guy that was still maybe hanging on. It's been about a month, Richie, since I've seen that name at the top of any of these draft boards. I've seen a Louisville catcher. I've seen multiple high school shortstops. It just doesn't feel like the wind is blowing in the direction of Jack Leiter to the Pirates.
Yeah, I've been looking at it the last week, and I haven't seen Jack Leiter predicted to go 1 on any boards across all these baseball insiders. I haven't seen him go 1. So, I mean, they know a lot more than us, than me at least. So I would like to see them go with the pitcher, but, you know, best player available. If you tell me that this guy's going to be the next Manny Machado, I'll take it. Let's go.
Hitters in the zone and getting a lot of swings and misses, too.
You know, some insiders in some of these publications have Kumar Rocker, you know, near 10. They don't even have him even in the top 5 anymore. I mean, although I think if you're going to look at Leiter and Rocker and you're going to compare the two, Rocker might be the gamble that might have more upside, you know, 5, 6, 7 years out.
Well, he burst on the scene. He burst on the scene, too, right? I mean, he came in, you know, he was cussing out Duke's bench while he was no-hitting them. People don't like Duke in any sport, so that was fun to watch, right? Like he was, you know, come, you know, just bring it, like The Rock or something like that. People love that. They gravitate towards that. That's tough guy A.J. Burnett stuff. But being drafted number 1 is kind of a marathon and not a sprint. You've got to either be a high school guy who's got just ridiculously projectable skills, or if you're a college player, you've got to consistently perform every time your name gets called. And I don't think Rocker has necessarily done that, despite bursting onto the scene the way that he did.
Yeah, and Leiter has the Major League pedigree, too. Let's go out to Rich in Altoona. How you doing, Rich?
Doing well, guys. You know, I give you guys credit because you guys have to keep spinning this like it's actually going to happen. You know, what if the number 2 guy in Atlanta comes up to be number 1 in Pittsburgh? They're going to trade him. If Key Brian Hayes gets close to superstar status, they're going to trade him. This never-ending conveyor belt and revolving door of prospects. If this were a building, an actual building with the rebuilding the Pirates are doing, this thing would be 10 times taller than Godzilla. It's just not going to happen time after time again. I hear you guys talk about prospects constantly, and yet when we get a core group together, they seem to get broken up and traded away for more prospects.
How tall was Godzilla, Rich?
End.
Well, Rich, I feel your pain, and I feel like we've been talking about this for years now. I mean, every couple years. But that's the way it is. You have to.
Tampa does it.
Yeah.
Tampa does it this way. They traded Blake Snell. Like, Tampa has made more painful trades in terms of guys who are obviously in the primes of their careers than even the Pirates. Like, I think the problem you should have, if you're realistic with yourself about Pirates trades, is that they seem to make bad ones, right? Like, they trade Tyler Glasnow because they can't figure out what to do with him. They trade Garrett Cole and don't get enough in return. And then the main guy in that deal, Musgrove, they end up trading him. But it is always going to be a conveyor belt until, and really I don't think this will ever happen, if and only if baseball gets a salary cap will you see that conveyor belt stop. But like, for the people who are like-minded with Rich and Altoona out there, don't drive yourself nuts. It'll be this way for as long as the current economic system in baseball is in place. So it's better to rent than buy that space in your heart for your favorite player on this team, because they're not going to be your favorite player for 15 years, let's say.
There definitely needs to be a cap and a floor, and that Rich should be mad at baseball, Major League Baseball, not just the
How tall
Pirates.
is Godzilla, though, Rich? He still didn't answer my question. He said 10 times taller than Godzilla. What are we talking about here?
didn't think
A
Godzilla was
mile-high
that tall.
rebuilding project?
Yeah,
I thought Godzilla was more of a guy who had a low center, and that's why he was able to knock over all those buildings and the fire breath and all that stuff.
All right, we got to go to our Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Night. And, congratulations to Bill Cower. A big honor today. He tweeted this out: very proud to receive the inaugural Daniel M. Rooney Ambassador Award at last night's Ireland Funds Summer Soiree. So congratulations to Bill Cower. That was our Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Day. Back in a couple minutes.